AKAPADers, let's get this one out real quick, because the Phils are about to play. I want to record something so I can at least edit, work on the video, publish it as I'm hopefully watching the Philadelphia Phillies win. We need a 2-1 series. I don't care. I just want that tonight. So here's the thing. Humiliation. And one time, long ago, I was single in this great city. I'm not immune to humiliation. I'm not immune to getting my face smashed into the pavement. I've been making a fool of myself my entire life. I've been not taking myself seriously for far too long. But what we have here, and this is where I'm a little bit grateful that the AKAPAD Army has a reach, that there's individuals out there that believe that they're allies of AKAPAD. I was forwarded these. Luckily, the individual that posted these, I was following them anyway, so I just went to the profile. But there's a retailer. There's like this retailer summit, this retailer thing happening. I think it's in New York City. I ain't dig very far. But here's the point of these pictures. You have Jim Lee, the king, the ruler of the second largest publisher right now in comics. We can argue that DC is driving a lot of the new sales and the new readership. A lot of what DC is putting out seems to please more people than it's pissing off. We have the DC compact books. I'm very critical of those books, but they just seem to be recycling some of those dollars. People who are already addicted to the gospel of comic books are just repurchasing storylines that they're already familiar with. They like the $10 format, or they're buying things that they're not so familiar with. I even bought the All-Star Superman one just to kind of get re-familiar with that before the release of the James Gunn movie. The point I'm making is that DC's driving a lot of the conversation. They're driving what's hot and what's available right now in reprints. I keep seeing these Dollar Tree books, the store displays, bag books, even in some of them are in 7-Eleven, but these DC comic book bag book displays seem to be, again, circulating, getting people excited. DC's always been good with this stuff. And Jim Lee, he's the guy who's running it. We know he can sell a book. He's selling Hush too. We have to say, we can be critical for Jim Lee, but that son of a bitch is doing everything he can to make DC Comics relevant and to kind of push it through this culture war scenario that we're subject to witness. It's just exhausting. So no one shows up for this summit. Jim Lee literally speaks to an empty room. Supposedly, the speech was fantastic. This was a rallying call for DC reaching their hand out for publishers to make friends, to make amends, maybe even own up to some wrongdoing or some predatory practices these last few years. DC recently, they're quick on spotting trends. They did that bag comic book trend. I get it. I don't like it. Hopefully you don't like it. But they're there and they're responsive to the pulse of the marketplace. Jim Lee, believe it or not, is a good company guy. I think he's a decent executive. I think overall, a lot of these decisions and like where things are marching or what they moved away from, which is, you guys know, I'm going to sound like a broken record, continuity-based storytelling first, and then, like the Elseworld stuff pushed way out to the side, and to, like good, powerful imprints. They need like a Vertigo. Again, they need something pushing the bigger ideas, the bigger concepts, and stretching what comic books are capable of through something like that. These are things I feel like Jim Lee's either abandoned, lost sight of, or just maybe never cared about in the first place. DC, in my opinion, is moving towards a reprint house with Elseworlds driven new books that will be great for 6 to 12 issues, and that's it. We're done with long running series, long running storylines. Everything's meant to be one and done. And when DC eventually moves into crowdfunding, we'll see that crowdfunding, will be the death of continuity based storytelling. It doesn't look nice. It just doesn't look fun. But the retailers, so it's either the retailers just don't care about Jim Lee and what he has to say. I don't know why you would. What I mean, AKAPAD last week there was this giant AI conference in Philly. It was last Thursday. I couldn't make it. I should have been there. I feel so guilty, but that's way different than this because I know people that went to that. I know about 3 guys that went there. This is your industry. This is one of your industry leaders. And you don't show up to hear what they have to say, to hear what the pitch might be, to grow the readership or to grow the interest, or even on the collectible sense, like what they're doing to drive interest that would end, like the road ends in comic shops. I don't know. So it's either there's not enough retailers to fill this room for this conference, or they're there, they just don't care. And that's very depressing.